Chapter 202. The Young Maiden's Sorrowful Cries.
Coarse Blade Golden Centipede.
Gently tapping on the rank 3 Gu's dark gold exoskeleton, by Ning was stumped. Having faced Fang Yuan in battle before, she knew firsthand how destructive this coarse blade golden centipede was. Who would have thought that it would be Fang Yuan himself who lent it to her? Impressed by the way Fang Yuan used the Gu, Bai Ning tried to mimic his techniques, swinging the centipede like it was a big sword, periodically willing it to lengthen or shorten, making it wiggle, moving blades gleaming menacingly.
Heaven canopy Gu!
Placing the defensive Gu inside her aperture, she poured white silver primeval essence into it, instantly creating an armor made of white light covering her body.
Fate truly is a mystery. Who among us would have thought that one day I would be using your Gu bug?
Fang Yuan sat quietly next to the warm coal, his legs crossed and his eyes closed, not saying anything. His mind was focusing on his aperture. Before his mind's eyes was the full bountiful sight of a grade 8 primeval sea. 90 volumetric units. More than doubled the capacity it originally held, which was just a bit over 40 units.
I have dropped from rank 3 down to rank 1, erasing years of cultivation efforts, but it was all worth it.
There were 3 must-haves on a Gu master's cultivation journey. First, aptitude. Second, resources. Third, Gu bugs. Of these 3 things, one could not lack any. Fang Yuan originally was only grade C, so he had to make use of both tricks and trades to make up for his inadequacy in cultivation aptitude. The past few years on Qing Mao Mountain had not been kind. Although his progress had been fast, it was the combined result of his constant plotting and taking on big risks. If only he were to have a grade A aptitude from the very beginning, his entire experience would have been completely different, making rank 3 would have been a walk in the park.
What a twist of fate. I now have a grade A aptitude, but I no longer have a safe environment to grow up like in the village. Regarding Gu bugs and resources, I am no better off than before.
The wilderness was filled with far too many unpredictable dangers. As Fang Yuan was reduced to rank 1, here, now, any moment could very well be his last. This was certainly less desirable than the safe and stable environment inside the village where one could rely on trade to overcome his shortcomings.
Fortunately, the heavenly primeval treasured lotus solved my biggest problem, resources, for at least until I am rank 3.
Focusing on his mind's eyes, Fang Yuan could see, under the 90 volumetric units green copper primeval sea, a white-blue lotus had taken root on the seabed of his aperture. Its petals were giving off a transcendent aura. The heavenly primeval treasured lotus was a rank 3 Gu with enormous potential for development. Just to refine on it, Fang Yuan had destroyed the Guyu clan's most basal of roots, the primeval spring itself. The lotus was basically a miniaturized version of a full-sized primeval spring. Back when Fang Yuan was rank 3, producing white-silver primeval essence, this lotus could amp up his recovery speed from grade C to grade B. Now reduced to only rank 1 initial stage, producing green copper primeval essence, with the heavenly primeval treasured lotus embedded in his aperture, Fang Yuan could see his recovery speed elevated to an unprecedented height.
If I were to use rank 1 Gu, green copper primeval essence would recover so fast, it would be impossible to ever run out. Rank 2 Gu bugs will be able to bring the sea level down, but the recovery speed will eventually catch up with it, resulting in an equilibrium. However, if I were to use rank 3 Gu, it would require so much primeval essence that it would drain my primeval sea dry.
Green copper primeval essence was not dense enough for rank 3 Gu, so it required more volumes to compensate for the lacking in quality. Unfortunately, even with grade A aptitude 90 units primeval sea, Fang Yuan could only use rank 3 Gu once or twice before it rendered him useless. He then focused on the other Gu bugs living alongside the blue lotus. First to mention was his vital Gu, the spring-autumn cicada. This one was a rank 6 Gu that had made its way to 7th place on the mysterious Gu billboard chart. Once refined into his vital Gu, it could no longer leave his aperture. Having gone through another rebirth, the spring-autumn cicada was severely weakened. Its breaths were reduced to almost nothing. Its lime-green halo was completely gone, and thus everything inside his aperture looked gloomy and tired. The cicada had gone into hibernation once again, and as time flowed by, it would quietly take in water from the river of time itself, nourishing another cycle of growth and rebirth. Seeing this, Fang Yuan grasped a new comprehension of his mysterious vital Gu.
It seems like for a while I absolutely cannot use the spring-autumn cicada. Forcing it in this situation would only cause me to fall into the river of time and die in vain.
Without the rank 6 Gu looming over them, the other Gu bugs finally had a chance to showcase their natural instincts. To start, the chubby 4-flavored liquor bug, glowing in all 4 different colors, started to swim its way up to the surface of the primeval sea to play. Lurking underneath the green waves, the stealth scales Gu, looking like a fossilized carp, however, dove down to comfortably soak its scales on the seabed. High above the primeval sea, a black beetle with a strong pair of iron pincers soared. It was the plunder Gu, and the one flying cheerfully by its side, looking like a small white ladybug, was the yang Gu of the yin-yang body swapping Gu. In a secluded corner, rank 4 blood skull Gu sank to the bottom of the sea, quietly blinking red flashes. As for the other Gu bugs living outside of his aperture, the blood moon Gu was a red crescent mark imprinted on his palm. The earthly hearing eargrass had become one with Fang Yuan's head itself and normally wouldn't show. The two-seater flower stayed right on top of his tongue, only coming out when needed. Counting the heaven canopy Gu and coarse blade golden centipede just lent to by Ning Bing, Fang Yuan possessed 12 Gu bugs in total. This was unusually high. Normally, low-rank Gu masters were expected to have 2 to 3 Gu, only to increase to about 4 or 5 Gu when they reached rank 4 or rank 5. On this matter, even the divine detective Tai Shuelang himself only had about 6 or 7 Gu bugs in hand. Guyu clan's first chieftain and nobleman Sky Crane were both unique cases, as both of them were centuries-old geezers with years' worth of savings. Fang Yuan was raising 3 to 4 times the number of Gu bugs that a normal Gu master would keep. Having too many Gu bugs could cause severe economic burdens and require lots of managerial work to maintain regular activities. While all of his Gu bugs were chosen with the utmost care, with their diets taken into great consideration, his two-seater flower was limited and could only hold so much for so long. First one to be at risk in the wilderness was the 4-flavored liquor bug, as it needed fine wines or liquors to survive. Luckily, he had prepared a lot of liquor to keep inside the two-seater flower, enough to last for 6 months.
Within 6 months, I need to find access to liquors, or I would be forced to reverse refine the 4-flavored liquor bug down to liquor bug again.
Next one to possibly face a food crisis was the plunder Gu. Its food was a rare material that Fang Yuan could only manage to get enough for 5 months. Another one that needed to be fed storage food was the earthly hearing eargrass. It fed on ginseng roots which Fang Yuan had prepared in abundance to last the whole year long. Both the blood skull Gu and blood moon Gu required fresh blood to live, which must be collected on the way. The yin-yang body-swapping Gu, when it had both of its yin and yang halves, formed a perfect polar opposite spin where yin and yang qi were exchanging and reproducing constantly, so it did not need food to survive. With the yin Gu gone, the yang Gu must be let out to fly in the open air so it could absorb yang qi in the atmosphere. It was vital that he kept the yang Gu alive. Only with it in hand would Fang Yuan be able to strong-arm by Ning Bing into negotiation. After all, good bodyguards were hard to find, especially in the wild. However, this meant that in the foreseeable future, he better not enter any mountain cave or underground grotto without considering a way out. If he were to be trapped, sealed from the heavens, without access to yang qi for days, the yang Gu would starve to death. In that scenario, Bai Ning, without any means to turn back into a man, would certainly go after his head. Fang Yuan's situation was a bit inopportune. His gu were mostly on the higher side, ranging from rank 3, rank 4 to even rank 6, albeit he was only rank 1. It was like a miniature man wielding a tree, tiring and inconvenient. Not to mention, he had yet to find any healing and mobility gu, leaving him vulnerable in the wilderness.
Next, I need to start addressing these problems by catching wild gu bugs. Hopefully, my good luck will lead me to the right one. The next time I face wild beasts might not be as easy as shuttle arrowfish.
Fang Yuan's expression was grave, then he noticed Bai Ning walking over with a huge eggshell in hand.
Hey, take a look at this. I was just trying out the coarse blade golden centipede, making it go underground, then I realized there were eggs underneath the sand. Too bad they were all smashed.
Bai Ning said. The egg was 3 times the size of her head, its eggshell completely smashed, with only a little bit of yolk left inside. Seeing it, Fang Yuan immediately tensed up.
Not good, this is a 6-legged croc's egg. This shore we're on must be an egg nest.
Hurry, take the coarse blade golden centipede and check how many other eggs are out there.
It's too late, look.
Fang Yuan turned around and spotted hundreds of logs drifting across the turbulent mud flood to reach their shore. The logs quickly got on land and revealed themselves as gigantic crocodiles. Each had toughened backs, sharp teeth, and most noticeably, 3 powerful pairs of legs, their bloodshot eyes looking right at Bai Ning. Screeching furiously, the crocodile float charged at the 2 teenagers. At the same time, on Qing Mao Mountain, where the Guyu clan used to be, everything was covered under snow and ice. There, looming in the great white vastness, stood a small group of people like black iron nails holding the world in place.
Father!
Ruo Nan screamed, kneeling on the chilling snow, crying her heart out. This place was where her father, the divine detective Tai Shuelang, had fought against Guyu's first chieftain only 5 days ago. Aware of his impending doom, the divine detective had sent his mountain helmet Gu and iron hand arrest Gu out to protect his daughter. They flew away searching for her, and once they found Ruo Nan, the mountain helmet Gu wrapped itself around her face like a bronze mask, protecting her from harm, while the iron hand arrest Gu turned into a giant hand carrying her away from this treacherous place. The moment Ruo Nan was safe, the 2 Gu relaxed and immediately dissolved into a puddle of blood. Infected by the blood frenzy Gu, it was a miracle they kept it up this long. Driven by grief and anger, Ruo Nan was losing her wits, trying to make her way back to Qing Mao Mountain. The poor girl did not realize she had stepped into wild beasts' territory and got herself surrounded. Ruo Nan tried to fight her way out but was quickly overwhelmed. As she was about to give up all hope, the Tai clan's reinforcements arrived. As it turned out, the divine detective Tai Shuelang, cautious as always, had sent a letter back to the village asking for reinforcement a long time ago. Now aided with manpower, Ruo Nan finally made it back to Qing Mao Mountain looking for her father, but there was no one waiting for her there. No signs of her father, just endless snow and ice, silently froze the world into oblivion. The whole team had been searching the mountain days and nights, but found nothing. After a few days, they were forced to face the truth: the divine detective had fallen. Ruo Nan's father was gone.
Father!
Ruo Nan howled, her voice strained from crying too much. The cries were filled with extreme pain and sorrow, like the cries of swallows.